I'm Catherine Ross, and I'm here live from the floor of the NYC with Jim Cramer. Jim, what's top of mind for you this morning?
Otherworldliness. I think you're in a situation where President Xi is assuring people, look, things are going to grow, just as we said. Our workers are going to be there. I think that people who are thinking that, therefore, the Apple call, where they have 6 or 7 plants that are not theirs but are providers, may be an outlier, and therefore people are not selling what I thought they would be selling, except for a couple of semiconductors. So otherworldly, meaning that in another market, we'd be down very badly. In this one, a wave of S&P money comes in and takes everything up. And it's rather, as I did a piece this morning, it's rather hard to knock things down because people are using benchmarks that are very inexpensive and saying, in a case of like a Walmart, hey, listen, it's a bargain.
Based on that piece, which you wrote for realmoney.com this morning, you talked a lot about the sellers coming in. You used Apple and Walmart as 2 examples. And I want to take a step back and use this as an investing education angle.
Sure.
So how, if I'm a buyer, if I'm an investor looking to make a buy in this market right now, how do I know that it's being dominated by sellers other than the obvious?
Well, it's not dominated by sellers. That's my point, is it's dominated by buyers. That you literally have information that is negative. And you don't get this reaction because you don't get the sellers. Remember, the thesis of the Real Money piece was you need sellers in order to be able to make it negative. And people are reading information and they're not selling. They're saying, okay, you know what? Maybe sellers come in. Then the sellers are met by S&P money. So you have a situation where you have an Advanced Micro. Let's use that. Advanced Micro has tremendous exposure to China because they make the guts for PC. PCs are assembled in China and Taiwan, and the stock opens higher. So if you're an owner of Advanced Micro, you're kind of thinking one of 2 things. You're either going to sell or you're going to hold, right? And people are holding, betting that the S&P money that comes in will wipe away whatever individual selling is done. The hedge fund community that has typically banged stocks down on bad news is being overrun. The notion of selling into negative news is being blunted by the idea that buyers come in rather quickly. And that's why I chose Walmart and said, listen, Walmart is worth maybe up, 118 is the low, maybe 115. And this is a market where if you own stocks, you just wait, because 60% of the market is S&P 500. And when S&P 500 money comes in, you end up having sold to that money. And that money is a constant. Now, one day we'll come in maybe and have the bears delight. Now, if you read my Twitter feed, you see almost everybody was saying, okay, today's the day. But it wasn't. And it's not, because the shorts are overrun. The money that trades is trying to saying, you know what, let me take advantage of the decline. I got to get in there. I don't have much opportunity to get in. And I say, look, the important thing is it's a long day. It's a long day. Sellers will come in. Sellers waiting for the S&P money to dry up. And there's a lot of sellers, remember, who are motivated. One of the things that I've taught is that you'll see people on TV, and they'll only be like, say, 40% long. But when they come on air, they're going to be extremely negative just to make themselves look right. So remember, the people who come on air by the end of the day are going to be negative. They tend to be people who say, this market's ridiculous. And what you want to do is you want to press them and say, what percentage long are you? And that's if I had an end of the day show, I would say, what percentage long are you? And it's just a good thing I have to share with some of the people I work with. But there is otherworldly. You would expect the market to be down, 400, 500. It doesn't do it.
If I'm an investor, what's one indication that you look for?
I look at Micron. Micron is a company. You can look at Skyworks or Micron. Micron is levered to gross domestic product and semi. Skyworks is levered more to Apple. They should both be down. They are getting hit. So those are the ones that you should have on your screen versus, say, the cloud companies. We own a company, Twilio, for action alerts. And the old days, Twilio would be down 4. And you'd have to say, hey, Twilio shouldn't be down at all. It's nothing to do with China. The market these days, you don't need to remind the market. The market is on its game. The Twilio's not down because it shouldn't be down. And so the old days, you used to have a lot of stocks where you'd say, wow, that stock is down. I'm going to go buy it. In this market, there is a percentage which says, hey, that stock shouldn't be down, and it's not. Home Depot. Home Depot is U.S., not China, not around the country, in areas which might be weaker, because it's levered to construction, and construction is very strong. So Home Depot's up. The only area that you get some confusion in is interest rates go down, perhaps because of flight to quality, and that sends the banks down. So you probably buy Goldman here.
Walmart posted earnings this morning. They were weaker than expected, but e-commerce did come in strong. I took a look at the shareholder slides before I came down here, and they mentioned e-commerce 28 times. I have to ask, is e-commerce the future for Walmart?
Absolutely, and I think that one of the things that Walmart did was buy Jet. Jet is very good. I've met with the Jet guys multiple times, and they're head on against Amazon. They do have the stores that they can use as warehouses, which is better than what Amazon has. There's enough room for both. I don't think people realize that it's not either or, that there is room that people can say, I want to buy from Walmart or I want to buy from Amazon. So it's not negative for anybody. I thought the whole presentation was very positive. Doug McMillon is remarkable. He's turned the company upside down. The future's better than the past. And I calculate exactly what Walmart should be in my Real Money column. So I urge you to trial Real Money, and you can find out.
And before we go, we've got Apple, which did issue a revenue warning.
Lynn, let's save that for action alerts, okay? I don't want to give that away. It's not fair to subscribers.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for joining us today, Jim. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Catherine Ross, and we'll see you tomorrow.